Anybody can do a bacon, egg, and cheese, but it's do or die when it comes to the best in the biz. Rise and shine, bedheads. It's Starbucks versus Costco for the Breakfast Sandwich Championship title. You're hungry, but also you don't want to spend your whole paycheck on a sandwich. While prices do vary by market, here's a general idea of how these two breakfast sandwiches affect your wallet.
We're gonna get through this, okay?
A breakfast sandwich from Starbucks costs us about $6. And while a single box of Costco's similar pre-made breakfast eats sets us back around $20, that same package came with 8 ready-to-eat sandwiches. So while some Reddit users were upset by how pricey they were, Kirkland's sandwiches cost about $2.50 a pop, which is half the price of the Starbucks version. Well, it should come as no surprise that Costco doesn't skimp on the size of its breakfast sandwiches. While Starbucks reports its sandwich weighs in at 148 grams, and Costco's comes in at 137 grams, side-by-side comparisons show that the two were nearly identical. But despite weighing less, Costco's breakfast sandwich actually appears to be slightly bigger than Starbucks' version when you put them next to each other. Costco's croissant-y buns are not only slightly larger than the ones on Starbucks sandwiches, but they are also fluffier and lighter. And the egg in Costco's version is also a lot less dense than the one on the Starbucks sandwich. Official ruling: Costco's breakfast sandwich wins the size category. The buns on these two breakfast sandos aren't your run-of-the-mill biscuits. Instead, they're fluffy, buttery, spiraled croissants. They're both delicious, but one is better. Starbucks' version was a buttery, crunchy delight. The bread's amazingly flaky texture and savory butter-filled taste reminded us of an actual croissant in sandwich form. Then we bit into Costco's version. Costco's croissant is wonderfully fluffy and tastes bakery fresh, which is quite the feat considering it's pre-cooked frozen food. But because of that, it wasn't particularly crispy or buttery. If the brand didn't spell out on the box that these were croissant buns, we would never have guessed. No buns about it, Starbucks wins this round. There's only one way to eat bacon, and that's extra crispy. But tragically, while the bacon in both breakfast sandwiches is high quality, neither Costco nor Starbucks got the crispy bacon memo. Both brands bid it in the crunchy bacon department, but even so, one version had bacon that was slightly crispier than the others. While loaded with salty flavor, Costco's bacon strands were limp from beginning to end, but the Starbucks bacon is at least crispy on the edges, which provides a nice texture contrast to its chewier middle. Costco's bacon easily lost the mediocre battle to the ever so slightly crunchier power of the Starbucks version. And now we come to one of the most controversial elements of any breakfast sandwich: the egg. Often fried high school cafeteria style and only edible because it's topped off with bacon and cheese, the egg is one of those things everyone has come to accept as just going to taste just okay. And that's the case with the Starbucks breakfast sandwich. The brand's fried egg has that familiar, low-quality taste and dense texture, giving it a powdery mouthfeel.
It's weird, Nan.
It's not weird.
It's weird.
It is not weird.
But Costco's fried egg was a pleasant surprise, tasting wonderfully natural, a lot less dense, and much fluffier than the Starbucks version. And while Costco's egg patty wasn't seasoned, the egg that came from a chicken-quality patty makes it the champ of the breakfast sandwich egg-off. From the very beginning, we had some major questions about the Costco cheese. The brand just states the sandwich comes with cheese of some variety, no specific type mentioned. Once we looked at the ingredients, we found that Costco's sandwich comes with a pasteurized cheddar cheese blend. It reminded us of Kraft singles, plastic-like and kind of dull. This was definitely the brand's weakest ingredient. On the other hand, Starbucks features sharp cheddar. It tastes like cheese that comes from cows and not a factory. Someone should get the Starbucks sandwich a camera because it wins the cheesin' category. Which of these breakfast sandwiches is most likely to take you on a one-way trip to Flavor Town? It all comes down to the bacon, egg, and cheese.
Give me all the bacon and eggs you have.
Costco hides its less crispy bacon and cheddar blend cheese behind its beautiful fluffy fried egg. This sandwich was all about the fluff factor. The croissant buns melted in our mouths, and the egg was just as delightfully puffy. The bacon and cheese were swallowed whole by the egg they were nestled under. We didn't really get much of these two flavors, making this less of a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich And more like a fluffy egg croissant, Starbucks put its crispier bacon and sharp cheddar cheese on top of the egg, which made all the difference in taste. While the egg wasn't outstanding, it was doing what an egg patty should do, acting as flavor and texture backup. The Starbucks sandwich's crispier, more substantial, and savory croissant buns created the tastiest experience. All right. The winner is Starbucks. If a discount brand is better than the original, we happily admit it. But we were impressed by the Starbucks double smoked bacon, cheddar, and egg sandwich, which truly brought the breakfast treat heat. Costco served up one of the best egg patties we've ever tried, and the delightful chewy croissant buns were delicious. But it failed to balance its somewhat questionable ingredients. And although it was high quality, the croissant was more like brioche bread. But where Costco failed, Starbucks shined. The ingredients were well layered and balanced, and the croissant buns were buttery and flaky, making for a sandwich filled with crispy-edged bacon, sharp cheddar, and savory croissant flavor. So while it's more expensive than the Costco version, the Starbucks breakfast sandwich proves that the best tasting things in life and breakfast are worth a little splurge.